How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to JDB Moto. Today we're going to be working on my brother's Lexus. It's a 350 IS, and I'm just going to let him tell you a little bit more about it before we go ahead and start working on it.
So guys, it's a 2014 Lexus IS350 F Sport. Basically, we'll be removing the cover here, and we're going to be removing the intake tube. We'll go ahead and get this cover up. I already loosened out the 10 millimeters, or you could either use a Phillips on them head to be able to remove those. There was a clip here that I went ahead and I took it out quickly because it was easier to do it before we did anything. You can remove the dipstick to kind of like get it in there and get it out of the way quicker. Also, we got the 4 clips here. I already undid the mass airflow sensor, and I took the clip out of the air box on the top part. So as soon as we go ahead and remove, everything will be much easier to do. So let's go ahead and get on it. We're also going to be unboxing the new air filter that we're going to put in here. It'll be a nice panel air filter from AFE, and we got an HPS intake tube that will be replacing the stock tube that we got from factory. We'll be laying everything out shortly so you guys can see all the setup that we'll be putting in the car. So guys, this is the AFE oil-free performance filter. It is the 3-ply rather than the 5-ply, and is the dry flow, so there's no oil needed. You could just wash it, let it dry, and put it back in there. It comes with the with this little guide here, which also comes with a cool little AFE sticker as well. You can put in the airbox if you like. We're gonna go ahead and do the intake tube that we'll be putting in. It's a HPS. It seems to be already powder coated and everything black, so it'll look really close to the stock look, but it'll definitely give us the performance and throttle response we're looking for. It also comes with these rubber couplings, which it'll be better than the plastic one that comes in the factory ones, and it comes with 4 clamps that we'll be able to remove to replace the stock one that are on the factory air tube. We're going to remove the engine cover real quick. We'll be going ahead, and you can either use, like I said earlier, you can use a Phillips for this nut here, or you can use a 10 millimeter socket for either. It'll be whichever you think is best. However, I did the socket just because it's easier with the long one, deep socket, I'm sorry, so that when we're tying these guys up, it's pretty much the same. Remove the mass airflow sensor. We're gonna remove here the cover. Once you lift here, this should come right off. Very, very easy. We'll just place it here for a second. I already undid the hose that goes into the valve cover. We'll go ahead and pull this guy out, and it's completely out. As you guys can see, it's quite the difference. Seems to be better. You can tell that the 3.5 rather than the 2.5 that the factory comes with, it's quite a change. So guys, what I decided to do to make it easier is I'm putting the coupling here, the smaller coupling, because you do have 2 sizes. You do have a smaller size, and we got the bigger size here. The small one, you put it on the smaller side and put it this way, so when you're putting everything, it'll be all uniform, facing out. I'm gonna just tighten it a little bit, just so that it's more easier to install when it's in. We take the coupling down and we put it here in the intake, and you see how it's basically now in place. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna go ahead and just tighten it up a little bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and basically we can go ahead and set this guy up just to see how we're gonna want it to fit in. And as we can see, it'll be just right, so I don't have to touch the coupling anymore. Now I can go ahead and get the bigger one again, and now we're gonna go ahead and place it in here, and we'll do the same exact thing that we just did, just to basically make it easier. We just go nice and gentle. We're gonna hold it there for a second, and what I'll be doing now is I'm gonna be tying up the other one so I can get it ready for the next setup. Now guys, here's the factory filter. I actually, due to me working at O'Reilly's, I went ahead and installed this. It was about 4 months ago, so you guys can see the little bit of wear that one has already. So Here is the AFE one. You guys can see the quality of this one. And it's very sturdy. It's not flimsy whatsoever. So it basically goes in one way. You can go ahead and you basically slide it in, and it actually fits in really sturdy. So there's no need to make sure that there's there won't be any gaps, as you can see all around it. So we will be setting the coupling down, make sure that it fits good. We already know it's good, so we set it up here in the, again, so that they could be all uniform. You don't want them facing sideways or whatnot, so we just want them to look as uniform as it could be, so it has a factory look, which is what we're going for over here. So once we're in, we set up, we can actually set this guy up here. Again, there's no need to go crazy on the tightening, so I'm just gonna make sure that we're good on the bottom, we look good on the top. So I just want everything to be as uniform as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this. This comes with another 10mm. That's actually also, they gave us a spare. I'm gonna attempt to basically leave it with the stock one, but if we see that there's a need, then we can just go ahead and swap it out. Same here, we remove this with the same 10mm. No need to go crazy with anything else. And again, when you're putting it back in, don't go crazy trying to adjust it or over tighten it, because there's really no need to over tighten it. Guys, I ended up removing this imposer that comes with the factory airbox. We're gonna go ahead and slide it here at the same location where the factory one was at. So we're gonna slide it in. It's basically gonna go into a certain part where you can see that it's just gonna stay right there. So we make sure that everything else is good before I start tightening up everything else. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this hose here because I really don't see any other reason for me to leave it out anymore. We're good, we're in. I'm gonna start tying everything up. So guys, again, the point here was per HPS, we are talking about 14.5 wheel horsepower, and I believe it was about 10 or 12 pounds of torque added. We don't know how much are the real gains. We haven't dyno tested the car, so we will be taking it for a ride in a little bit as soon as we're done here, and we will be testing the theory and see how much, how better the car is going to be performing. In the summer video, we'll be doing a dyno tune as soon as we have our headers in, exhaust in, and then we'll basically get our actual power gains.
You wouldn't even know that this is not the factory intake by looking at it. So just to go ahead and take a look here, guys. It blends in perfect with the factory setup. As you can see, everything looks like it's very well made, very high quality materials. The rubber couplings look really good as well. As you can see, they come here with the actual brand name over here, so nice and branded. The fittings as well, as you can see, they come branded with the HPS engraving in them. So guys, we'll go ahead and take it out for a spin and see how it feels. Feel the difference between the factory airbox and this one. You actually can hear a little bit of that whine as you're actually accelerating the car, so definitely you can feel the difference. We just did a pull on Sport Plus, and you can definitely feel that difference. You can actually hear that whining of the air being sucked in. We're gonna do one more pull here and see how it feels. So
AC load.
All right, bro, so what do you think?
Oh man, completely different.
You recommend it?
Oh, 110% would recommend it.
All right, guys.
Throw response, clutch. That little short burst is what does it.
It feels great. It feels great. Guys, so there you had it. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.